Stronger Humans. How's it going? I have my trash bag on my head. Somebody commented saying, it looks like you have a trash bag on your head with the way you're wearing your beanie. Hey, I just like wearing my beanie like this. Don't know what to say. But in this today, you're going to see me doing a bit of my movement practice from yesterday on this left side of the screen. And I'm going to be talking to you about some of the really, really cool benefits of this practice of juggling, which doesn't benefit me at all, you know. Some people, I've seen the comment of, all you do is circus tricks, and this doesn't help my case. But there's a very strong benefit in this practice and learning this practice over time that I would implore you to just give me a little bit of your time today to explain this a little bit. Now, yesterday, my movement practice had me doing a bit of juggling, a little bit of rope flow, picking up the sandbag, walking it across the street a few times to get the heart rate up, along with some club work with my berserker bar. And, you know, I think one of the things that is really cool about developing your own movement practice is, first off, going towards the things that you might be interested in. I think that's one of the big keys. My friend Mark Bell has said that many times, follow your interests. So one thing I want you to realize is that when you set up your movement practice, it can be whatever you want it to be, like what I set up yesterday. I did a little bit of strength, I did a little bit of skill, I did a little bit of rotation, and I did that for maybe 40 minutes, and that was it. But juggling, and these are 1-pound balls. They're available at the Stronger Humans store. There's some that ship from the US, and there's some for people abroad. But the really cool thing about these juggling balls and about juggling as a practice is, you know, as we get older, we tend to lose certain things. There's going to be, at a certain point, a little bit of muscle being lost over time, which is why we do resistance training, to ideally maintain and maybe gain a little bit of muscle so that as we get older, we continue to, our bodies stay strong. But there are other systems of the body that will begin to degrade. One system is, I think, synonymous with being old: the eyesight, your vision. Your vision gets worse. You know, I have friends that are in their late 30s and they've started getting readers because they need readers now to do what they need to do. But I find it interesting because I remember being younger when I was 6 years old, and before that I needed glasses and I wore glasses. And when I started playing soccer, a year and a half after I started playing soccer, I didn't need glasses anymore. The doctor told me that it was partially because of the differences in vision that had to happen on the soccer field. I had to focus on something far, I had to focus on something near, and then I had to work hard to coordinate my body with all the movements that I was doing, right? So that, and I think the secondary thing that my doctor didn't know, was all the sunlight that I was now getting exposed to my eyes. That's another thing that's very important. But that made a difference for my eyes. So, you know, as I've been getting older, I've been thinking about, well, what am I doing to really train the eyes now? Like, I have my red light devices, which is really good for my eyes, which is great. It's the colder season now, and my seasonal depression is still staving away a little bit, although I feel a bit since there's not as much sun. But I get outside and I get some sun in my eyes. You know, I have my martial art of jiu-jitsu, but jiu-jitsu, you know, you're focusing on the opponent in front of you, and yes, you're coordinating your movement with your eyes, which is beneficial for the eyes. But this practice right here, this practice of juggling, where you are focusing and you're processing multiple pieces of information going on in front of you, you are coordinating your body with your eyes and these balls, and you're focusing on them, right? You're doing that with my good side, which is my right side, and then my left side here, right? You're learning these different patterns, but your eyes are now focusing on moving objects while you're coordinating with them, and your reaction time is getting better and better. It could be two-pronged. Your coordination improves because you learn the simple cascade pattern is something anybody can learn, but then you can learn more complex patterns as you develop the skill, and the eyes are working to do so. Let's also then think about your peripheral vision. What's going on in these areas? Well, if I'm looking at you, but I'm now doing this while looking at the camera, my peripheral vision is working to have a level of focus on these balls so I don't drop them. And now, if I have this in my left hand or my right hand, I'm still looking at the camera lens, but I'm using my peripheral vision. Let me do this on my left side. I'm using my peripheral vision to try to keep this up in the air, right? To coordinate my body. And that's really, really good for the eyes, right? So, this practice of juggling, and I like using weighted juggling balls because tennis balls can be really light, although the tennis balls are good too. If you want to start juggling, just get yourself some tennis balls. You don't have to get weighted juggling balls to start this practice. Go to Target, Walmart, get yourself some tennis balls and just start throwing those things around. But as an athlete, I do jiu-jitsu, I train in jiu-jitsu, I compete in jiu-jitsu. There are many ways to improve as an athlete. But there are many other capacities that you think you only attack within your martial arts. So some people say, why would I train my reaction time when I already do that in jiu-jitsu? Why would I train my eyes when, I'm not playing baseball, so I don't have to track balls in the air? But I just think that learning different skills, and that's why in the Stronger Human community, we have our October-November challenge, and juggling is part of our October-November challenge in the Stronger Human community, along with getting low to the ground with movement, getting some flow work in, carrying something. These are different parts of our challenge because we are building different capacities that are in line with being a strong human. Vision and reaction time, which is what these balls or juggling can help with, is some of those capacities. And it's also extremely fun. In fitness, I think there is a focus on resistance training and a focus on creating force with different implements because that is important. But there is a lot more things that are important as far as capacities as a human being. Coordination is extremely important. Balance is extremely important. Reaction time, vision and acuity, dexterity, mobility, all of these things, I believe, can hold equal importance to strength and power. And that's why I really, really enjoy this practice as something not just great for my longevity, but also great for my athletic ability. Because I think there's even some research, I think I mentioned this, but there's some research to show that, your gray matter in your brain increases as you learn to juggle. But in essence, also the idea of just learning something new and something where you can learn different patterns. So with rope flow, you're able to learn all of these different types of patterns with the rope, which I think people that have been doing rope flow, you know how great it feels to unlock a new pattern and to put it into your practice as a new movement that you're able to do, a new movement that your body can exude. I feel some of the same stuff happens when you do some things with clubs and when you do some things with juggling, I must look like such a goofball right now. But it keeps you going. It keeps you learning new things. And can I say that juggling balls is going to make me a better grappler? Not in the one-on-one, it might not help me pull a collar tie as fast or do a takedown as quickly, but maybe it might, because maybe my reaction time is improving, which my reaction time is improving. And maybe just certain things end up being a little bit quicker because of this capacity that's being built. I think that's one of the tough things. That is one of the really tough things when it comes to tracking progress, because people want to see metrics. And when you're lifting weights, the metric is very easy to see. Weight goes up, I am stronger. I do more reps, I am stronger. I am heavier with less body fat, I have more muscle, I am stronger. Very easy to see. But with some of these different, like rope flow, I know this has helped my jiu-jitsu because my body is not in pain and I am moving so much more fluidly and smooth. I know it's because of that thing. Can't really track that though, right? So for me, this is what I'm going to say for me. For me, I just know that I'm going to continue to learn new skills that'll bring about new abilities within my body, because I know that's going to benefit me outside of just the skills of producing force and lifting weights. And not only is that going to help me as a grappler, but I know that that's going to help me to become a stronger human being. As I believe it'll help you, that's why I want to encourage you to develop this skill and take it as far as you like. I would still say I'm a novice, but I'm getting so much out of like just some of these simple patterns you can learn. Boom, 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 boom. That'll lead to your 3-ball cascade, okay? You can then learn doing things with a single arm here, go to your weak side, which is my left side, do some of the single arm there. You can then bring it over the top. So you see that I was bringing it over here. Okay, let's bring it over the top here. My coordination isn't as good, but then you can keep both balls in the air, right? Boom, boom, boom. And then you can bring it over the top here. Woo. Boom, 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 boom. Right? You can bring it under. There's a lot that one can do. And, I'm going to put a course in the Stronger Human community to teach this stuff over time. There's also people in the Stronger Human community that juggle too, that are good at it, that are sharing ideas. So that's one thing that's really awesome about the community. And also, there's Black Friday that's going to be going on at the Stronger Human. So if you go there, there will be discounts that apply automatically. It'll be up to 30% off. Unfortunately, I do not think the juggling balls are on sale as they are newer. But there's Black Friday stuff going on there. Before I finish the video, I actually should have showed this to you guys. I think I showed it in the Strong Human community, but this infinity braid rope is really cool because it turns your rope into a weapon. Now, you see how it's light here, it's heavy here? Since there's a bit of a weight here, you'll feel this extra pull of momentum from the middle of the rope. Actually, do not take a weight and put it in the middle of your rope, especially if you're newer, because if that weight hits you, I don't want to get sued. But if you were to get your rope and tie a few knots in the middle of here, and then you swing it, you'll notice that the knots that are in the middle of the rope cause the rope to have a bit more momentum and inertia, because it's like having weight at the bottom of your rope, and that's what this causes. I love the way this thing feels because I'll show you some B-roll of me hitting a sandbag with this rope. And it feels amazing to put force through it. So you can flow and then you can force. Then you can flow and then you can force. It's really fun. Anyway, so I want to share that with you. I do believe that there will be a slight discount on that for Black Friday. And yes, all courses that on things that I've learned and share are in the Stronger Human community, along with challenges. We do monthly challenges in there. Our October-November challenge is going to be coming to an end. And then we're going to have our December sprint challenge. So it'll be 30 days of flow, and I'll figure out a cool name for it, but 30 days of flow. Then we're going to move directly into our January, February challenge. But yes, I hope you start. I hope you pick up this practice of juggling. It's something you can do anywhere and microdose anywhere. And it doesn't take a crazy amount of time, but the small effort that you put in over time can benefit you greatly each day as you get older, and it's just fun. So that being said, Trash Bag Head is gonna enjoy the rest of the day, and I hope you do too.